Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Viral Breakdown podcast. I'm your host, Ariana Acuna, and today we have Jennifer and Brandon Young, two private label 8-figure Amazon sellers, and they are here to share all the gold, everything that everyone needs to know in 2025 and beyond. We're going to be talking about AI, we're going to be talking about automations, and the secrets to grow and scale your business. What's up, guys? How are you today?
Great.
Amazing.
Good.
Thanks
Amazing.
for having us.
Of course. Okay, right off the bat, how much money do you really need to start selling on Amazon in 2025?
Yeah, how much money do you really need to start selling on Amazon in 2025? Now, the interesting part about that is that there's 2 or 3 different ways to sell on Amazon. So you can do arbitrage, just going to the store, flipping stuff that already exists on the market, other people's brands. Then you can start with hundreds of dollars, right? It's just a matter of finding deals. There's a whole learning curve for that. What you can sell, what's gated, how to get your account set up, and then just try to compound your capital and build up some cash flow doing that. But to do private label, you need a minimum of $5,000 to $10,000 in 2025. The reason is you need to order months of inventory usually. When we launch a product, we want to set ourselves up for success, and you never want to run out of inventory.
Right.
And so the way you have to calculate that is what is the estimated number of units you can move if you execute well over a period of time? And then what is that landed cost of that product? And I think a lot of people set themselves up for failure by choosing a product where they would need a lot more money to do that product effectively. They run out of stock, and then they're out of stock for a few months. It kills their ranks, and then they can't recover. And you're setting yourself up for failure. You're going to light your money on fire doing that.
Got it. So you're saying you said 5 to 10K.
Minimum, and it depends on the product you choose. So you have to look at the data to choose the right product and understand what the capital requirement is for that specific product that you choose.
If you guys can start all over, which product would you choose to launch on Amazon if you can start all over?
If we start from all over, and the type of product we want to start with is the product that is repeatable purchase by the customer, and we are able to sell it at other channels other than Amazon, because omni-channel is a big thing right now, and instead of 5-6 years ago when we first started, and then everyone just all in on Amazon.
Amazing. Can you give us an example of what product you would start?
We may thinking about like glossaries or health and beauties or supplements that you can you know getting customer from Amazon, but like not making a very high margin, and you grab your customer information and you can have a repeat purchase for that same customer in either Shopify or other place. And the other products maybe can be viral in TikTok videos. And that's another way you can sell have your product and approaching to new customers, and then you can using that customer information and having them purchase on Amazon and to your own store. So like in the difference, like we have to thinking about omni-channel at the product development side, instead of like right now we are in the stage about, okay, this is all we have and how we're going to bring the product to other channel. So it's much easier that you plan that at the beginning, and instead of you pushing the product to the channel, it might not fit.
So when you're talking about this specific product, you mentioned beauty, health. What is one product that you would sell right now?
We're still under development stage, and I don't want to comment too much for that. And maybe after a couple of months, and we can have a more in-depth conversation for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't want to necessarily give away the products that we're
Okay.
developing. But to Jennifer's point, though, to enter those markets that require that people will repeat, typically requires a lot more capital and a lot more deeper knowledge of how Amazon works. You have to be much better at Amazon, because the people that are dominating those niches have deep pockets and they've been selling on Amazon for a long time, and they're very good. And a lot of them, to Jennifer's point, have the omni-channel traffic coming into Amazon. Because even if you sell on Shopify, a certain number of people, or TikTok, certain number of people will go search for your product on Amazon when they see it in those other channels. That helps you rank on Amazon.
Mm.
And so if you just launch those products on Amazon, then you are at a disadvantage to those other brands that are getting that high converting traffic coming in and looking specifically for those competitor products. And so
Interesting.
you have to be sophisticated on multiple channels. You have to have deeper pockets and you have to be very good at Amazon. Otherwise, you're going to be going up against someone you have huge disadvantages over.
So, Brandon, you are the expert at teaching newbies how to get into the Amazon world. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, we teach A to Z, so we can scale people's brands all the way to 7 and 8 figures together. Jennifer is an expert at scaling teams and efficiencies. I specialize in like how do you go from 0 to 1,
Hmm.
right? And what products to choose, how to look at the data, and how to make sure you minimize your risk in doing so.
For all the future Amazon sellers, let's just say someone is stuck in their 9 to 5, right? They hate their job. They keep seeing, hey, there's a future selling on Amazon. What are some of the questions they should be asking themselves before making that jump?
Yeah,
How do you know when it's like the right time to actually make that step into growing your Amazon business?
this is a great question. Like, how do you know it's time to leave your job or your career and try to start an Amazon business? This is the reality of it. It could be a year to 2 years before you're ready to do it full time. And the tip I always give to my students is that when it's costing you money to go to work, it's time for you to focus more on your business. So I've had many students, hundreds of students who have started out with us in our program that have been doing it part time, 10 hours a week, 15 hours a week. Instead of watching Netflix, they're watching videos and then they're working on their brands and communicating with their factories and working on their content and their ads. And they're launching a first product, a second product, a third product. And eventually, while they're sitting at their job, it's costing them more money not paying attention to their brands. That's when it's
Mm,
time to make the leap.
interesting. We'll come back to that. Jennifer, so
Mhm.
why do you choose to help other Amazon businesses grow and scale? Why is your heart and soul with those companies and why do you choose to help them grow?
I think that is how I feel fulfilled because I grew up in a education background, and all most of my relatives, my parents, my grandparents, and they are like educators, and most of them at college. So I just feel so fulfilled that you can see other people's success and you can grow together with them. Because while you're teaching, while communicating, and you're learning as well. So I think that is a win-win situation and
Mhm.
for both the mentor or the coaches and the students. Because me as a teacher and I'm also a student as well.
Always.
Yeah.
Who is your ideal client that you'd love to work with? Like, talk to me about your ideal Amazon
Mhm.
business that might be struggling. Who do you want to work with? What are they struggling with right now?
I like to work with someone that who do have the passion for what they're doing instead of just making money. And they are not giving up. And then when they have some challenges, and always finding out a way to solve it, and always want to achieve more and getting better. And also like personality match is another thing, and we want to have someone have like a long-term thinking instead of making fast like money. And because our methodology was built on to building up a long-term wealth and instead of a short-term gain.
Mhm.
So I think that is the criteria. And of course, you need to have some technical skills and in order to and doing the things that which is needed and for digital marketing for product development or if you want to grow to 8 figure or even 9 figure, you need to learn how to do management or you have experience about manage a group of people. Yeah, so I think that is the criteria.
Amazing. Brandon, why is your heart with the newbies? Out of everything you could be doing, why do you choose to help the newbies sell on Amazon?
I think the reason I love working with people who want to start the business is because I love seeing people have that freedom. I think that the current environment that we live in the United States as a capitalist society doesn't value the worker enough. I have some very strong feelings about that. I'm a capitalist at heart, but I also believe that everyone has that ability to set their own future, their own roadmap, and set themselves free. And those people that want to unplug, that want to create their own wealth and their own freedom,
Mhm.
I have a passion for helping those people. Uh, to Jennifer's point, we are also learning while we're teaching, and it's very fulfilling when I see students who have a lot of success and who start from scratch and have a product, and I can see those sales numbers and those profitability numbers, and then eventually sell their business for millions of dollars.
Amazing. Well, as two founders of a very successful company, talk to me about what is the true behind the scenes of what it's like to grow an eight-figure Amazon private label company. How long did it take you? What was it like growing that? How were you guys able to work together? I mean,
Right,
everyone wants an eight-figure Amazon private label company, but they don't know
right,
what it took
right.
to build it.
So I think everybody wants a business that's doing a top line of tens of millions of dollars that like we've built. And the reality is not everyone can or should or want to achieve that, right? It's very difficult. Everyone hits roadblocks at certain areas,
Mhm.
and a lot of people are very good at being solopreneurs. And I think that the ceiling that we often see with solopreneurs is that you can get to 1 to 3 million in revenue with just yourself and maybe a VA, right? So you hire someone overseas. The challenge now is to go to from 3 to 10 million requires you to actually start hiring and dealing with other people in your business, specialists,
Right.
right? And what becomes what's next, and what Jennifer alluded to earlier, is that it takes a certain skill set that is not intuitive or natural to where you learn how to become a manager. And Jennifer and I have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into executive coaching for ourselves, like group and individual,
Mhm.
because we weren't good managers to begin with, and most people are not. You have to learn how to deal with personalities and people and set goals, work backwards, and all the things that they teach you how to do. And I think that really it's where I like to stop, she likes to continue, and I think that's why we make a really good team. And one of the things our coach said to us very early on in our relationship with our executive coach was that the first thing he would tell Jennifer to do is go hire a Brandon, and the first thing he would tell a Brandon to do is go hire a Jennifer. And so we make a very good dynamic team in that aspect of where we sit in our personalities and our styles.
Amazing. Jennifer,
Mhm.
what is your behind the scenes
Y-
feedback?
Yeah, I think the key point is you have to find a partners, like a real partner or someone can grow into an executive position at a very early stage, and then you guys gonna continue working for at least 3 4 years, because the biggest problem we learned and about not just the Amazon business but other business as well. The number one reason the business failed because of a co-founder issue,
Mm.
because the co-founder doesn't work along with each other and the company failed. So like um I think that is not easy if you want to grow the business from 0 to like 8 fig, and it takes at least I would say 3 years at least, and you need to have a partner and working together with you. Solopreneur, I feel it's not impossible, but it's more challenging. It's because you are the one that doing everything, and then if something goes wrong, and it's very likely like you are not gonna achieve your goal. So I would say people, especially the co-founders or executive team, and it's the most important thing. I think the rest of it, and you can figure it out, and if you guys can work together.
Very good answer. So, Brandon, how can Amazon sellers use AI to find trending products online before everyone else?
So I love using AI in all of our product development processes, and in combination with the right data. So product ideas previously we would find using Google Trends. There's different software out there to kind of look for different criteria for categories and number of sales they have. Um, but sometimes it's as simple as really narrowing down who you're trying to sell your product to and then asking AI, what are 50 products this type of person uses on a daily basis or weekly basis? Then say, give me 50 more. Give me 50 more. And then use a software like Data Dive to go analyze that niche. How are the current sellers on Amazon getting their sales? How many units are they moving? And really breaking down that niche and the risk of entering that market. How can you do it better? The next part of using AI for product development would be to ask the AI, what are the current sellers doing right and wrong? And how do you think I can do it better? So the AI, if you have the data that Data Dive gives you, you can actually see the reviews of each seller in that niche, and you can ask the AI to analyze and tell me what do people like, but more importantly, what people don't like about the product.
Mm.
And to me, I get more information from that because that gives me the opportunity of what I can do better. And then the AI will come back and tell you, and this is built into the tool. AI is built into Data Dive. It'll actually give you suggestions on making a better product than your competitors. That's how I use AI really to go deeper, but only after I validate the risk, how I'm going to sell it, how many units I can make sure I have enough budget, and I've checked a bunch of boxes. Then I'll go deeper with the AI, and then after I check all of those boxes, I'll take all of that data, I'll pour it into ChatGPT, and I'll start designing concepts.
Brandon, what's Data Dive?
Data Dive is the operating system for Amazon sellers. So it really is how you can create, launch, get keyword research, analyze competitors, then launch your product and track the progress of that launch. It's a keyword tool at its core, but you use the set of keywords from your competitors in order to analyze what they're doing right and wrong. It has AI tools for product development built into it. Then you take those keywords and you go write your listing. It has an AI-powered listing writer. And then you take those keywords, you launch a bunch of ads because you need the number one way to rank on Amazon and keywords is to run ads. Jennifer knows that at its core, and she's going to talk a lot about ads, I'm sure. And then you take those keywords and you track your progress on them. So it combines a lot of data so you can track on a daily basis and continue to optimize your listings with the data loops and the feedback. So it's an SEO tool. It's a product development tool. It's the most powerful software for Amazon sellers.
Amazing. Jennifer, how do you use Data Dive in your business?
Most frequently function we're currently using is the ranking radar, is to track the keyword rank for the products. Because our advertisement team are gonna do a bunch of things like daily about advertisements, and then we need to measure whether it is help the keyword rank or not. And especially we have a high A cost. So if we see the keyword ranking is moving to the right direction, and we should keep spending, and if it's not, then we should backing up. But we don't know that information without the dashboard about how the keyword for each keyword, specific keyword, and the ranking is trending up or down. So I think that is the tool that we're using the mostly. Master keyword list, and we're using that mostly for product development and for detect the trending products or the seasonality. And we're using dive again or compare a lot for the old master keyword list. And we always want to compare what is the current market comparing with 6 months ago. So the product development team or our supply chain team had bad idea about what is the trending based on the market.
So, for all the Amazon sellers out there, give us your best tip on how to create the perfect Amazon ad.
I'm not saying like a perfect. I was
Jennifer's version of perfect. What are those stats? What does that look like?
Yeah, so my standard of perfect is you should cover all the traffic that will drive sales and growth of the product, which means you should cover different ads type like sponsor products, and you can do manual and auto, and you target on different keywords and different products, and adjust the bid placement and based on its performance, and then sponsor brand video, and it's another good performed ad type as well. So like you just need to cover different like traffic that Amazon customers can access to your product and optimize the performance and based on its conversion.
Amazing. Brandon, do you think newbies should absolutely have the data dive software?
Oh, 1,000%. I think that every seller should have the data dive software. It helps in every aspect of the business, from the product development side, really understanding the risk of doing a product and how the current sellers are getting their sales. Jennifer and I very early on made some mistakes with products, right? And we had some success, but really it was blind luck in a lot of ways. And then from that, Jennifer, with her background in computer science and being very methodical and data driven, and I being very analytical, we decided to really break down why we were successful with certain products and why we weren't. And so she was able to help us to piece together data from different software that was on the market
Mm.
with spreadsheets and different formulas. And she wrote macros into Excel sheets. And we were analyzing how every seller was getting their sales.
Wow.
What keywords were they ranked well for? But then we needed to know which keywords could we possibly take advantage of, right? Because not every keyword is built the same. Different search volumes, different relevancy, different specificity. And so she wrote a formula to figure that out too. And so this became our basic foundation for product selection, because if
Wow.
we couldn't beat competitors based on SEO, that was a no-go immediately. And so that would be the first box we would need to check. And the question that is at the center of Data Dive, that is at the center of being successful on Amazon, is understanding how the current sellers are getting their sales. If you can't answer that question, you're shooting blind and you're at a high risk of failure.
Amazing. So if someone wants to get access to data dive, do you have any codes or how do they get access to this software?
Yeah, I'm happy always to give a discount code. They can use the code Brandon20 to get 20% off for life. That is a personal code from me. So if you happen to get lucky enough or stumble across this video and find me, you get that code. That's the biggest discount you're going to get. And yeah, just go to datadive.tools, sign up. There's some videos on how to get started, how it works. We're going to be adding a lot more. Jennifer is helping with product development on, tying a lot of things together. The tools are very, very effective, but selling on Amazon is very complicated, very difficult. So there is a learning curve to selling. There's a learning curve to using the software. The key is it's a numbers game. Don't give up. And then once you watch a few walkthroughs,
Mhm.
it'll start to make sense.
Perfect. Next question. How do you keep profit margins so healthy in your Amazon business?
This is how you can keep a healthy margin for your Amazon business. So firstly, we need to understand the P&L. So you start from your revenue, and which is your total income, and then net sales, which is subtract your return, and then you have your cost of goods, and which is including the cost from the factory and the shipping, and then you have like Amazon fees and including commission, advertisement, and FBA fees, and then you have your operation cost. So like this is the first step into understand like what is your structure of your fees, and then we need to set up a goal. So for example, if you want to achieve, for example, 10% like a EBITDA, right? And then you're working backwards is like how much is your contribution margin will be, right? And then like you're adding back your operation costs is like and how much your gross margin will be. So and then like you have a percentage of each percentage of the spend. So let's say for the advertisement, right? And that is the majority of the percentage of the fees we have to keep an eye on, and we want to keep it under 15%, and in order to make a healthy profit. So the guideline is you should have a goal for each percentage of the fees, and then we just have your team to make sure you are not over, and if it's over and you need to talk to them and how we can bring it down. So that's how you're going to manage your margin.
For Amazon businesses that are struggling with unhealthy profit margins,
Mhm.
can they reach out to you and work with you to be able to help grow their revenue, help them get beefy profit margins back?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we are very good at diagnose about what is the problem and how to fix it. And I think we need to work together because, for example, if your conversion rate is low and which cause your ad percentage is high, and you have to working with your designers or a product team in order to bring the conversion up, or like your cost is too high, right? And then you have to working with the factory or like you finding other suppliers to bring the cost down. So I would say we definitely can help you to diagnose what is the issue, but like the business owners or whoever are in charge of your Amazon channels is the one who gonna execute it.
So, Jennifer, for all the struggling Amazon businesses out there, if they're having a hard time growing and scaling their company to eight figures or more, how can they reach out to you to look at healthy profit margins? What's working, what's not working? How are you able to best diagnose their problem?
Go into my bio and filling out the form, and we can see whether it's a good fit or not.
Perfect. Okay. Brandon, I need you to tell me, what mistakes do newbies make all the time when first starting their Amazon business?
So newbies make a lot of mistakes when they start their Amazon business. It's not just one, but generally the first one is going to be the product selection. That's going to be the fatal error. So if you choose the wrong product, you're setting yourself up for failure right away. And the wrong product might be that you just don't have enough capital to do that product. It might be that there are too few keywords or not enough demand, or it's overly saturated, the risk, right? There's a lot of reasons that the product could be wrong. And we try to evaluate that across many different criteria in a scorecard that we give you. But beyond that, I think logistics, sourcing, the learning curves are very steep with Amazon. And I think that a lot of people try to just watch a few YouTube videos and figure it out as they go. The reality is you need to learn, first of all, from someone already doing it, like Jennifer and I. There are other coaches out there that are legitimately sellers as well that I'm friends with. But then there's a lot of fake gurus out there that are not sellers, that are just selling a course. They're very good at marketing, right? And I think you need to learn from someone who's really doing it, learn what criteria to follow. Then you have to become good at logistics and supply chain. You have to be good at content, creating the right content. I think a lot of people will skip steps there too. But if you have bad content, you don't get the clicks and the conversion rate that you need. And so the performance isn't good. You're overpaying for ads. Your margin disappears, right? The way you ship the products in can be not efficient, and then your margin is eaten up that way as well. And there's a lot of margin compression right now. Amazon fees are higher. You have to understand how to navigate those. And then they don't run the correct ads. They don't launch the product correctly. So there's a methodology that we use where we don't make the product go live on Amazon until the day that our inventory is ready to go. So it is part of Amazon catalog, but it's hidden, and we're not accumulating any history or any data from Amazon. And then that's good because it's a very clean launch. And we teach that methodology, that clean launch methodology. And that's a big advantage. So if you don't know that, there's just little things that you don't know, and you don't know what you don't know. And I think that you need to learn from experts who have launched 1,000 products like Jennifer and I, that have developed and can maximize your chances of success.
You guys are such experts at what you do all the time. How can someone get truly in touch with you to be able to be coached by you, mentored by you, so they don't make the same mistakes?
So in order to get a hold of us and to start learning and being a part of our community, the best place is to go to our Discord. So for a long time, we were on Facebook. We've been teaching since 2017, 2018. It's a long time. We've been selling since 2015. And traditionally, we were on Facebook, but Discord is awesome. So now we have a Discord community with free channels, free support, and a free community. But then you have different levels. So if you're not sure that this business is right for you, we give you an opportunity to watch a workshop and go through a multi-day workshop for very little money. Just, a matter of hundreds of dollars. That way you don't have to commit thousands in inventory and education costs to figure out whether this business is right for you.
Right.
So when you join that Discord, you'll get free support, free information, and get pointed into the right direction and be able to talk to other students. But then you can step up and take a workshop. If you're already selling, you might want to jump into our incubator program, which is one low fee for the year. And that includes many videos that Jennifer and I have curated and put together that take you from A to Z. But then we have our bigger group, our inner circle.
What's in the inner circle?
So the inner circle is a full college level mastermind. And that's where we go much deeper into tactics around how to scale from 7 to 8 figures. That's where we actually help you with the deeper tactics and the management issues, the deeper data. But it's a community for higher level sellers. It's an application process. You have to be doing at least $100,000 in order to join the inner circle.
Amazing. What is the number one task that Amazon sellers should be delegating that they're not delegating?
if you're like in 7 figure, want to grow into 8, and then you need to find a very good product manager that who can, um, grow and then maintain the product and without your supervision. So in order to do that, and you need to building up a system and dashboard to check the important status like your daily sales, your tacos, and your profit margins, and then you have to have a detailed dashboard and look at your Amazon ads and to make sure it is not killing your product. And I think a little by little, and you can dedicate more. And if you find your product manager is capable, so that way you don't need to spending too much time. And if you seeing something that growing in the wrong direction, you have to either train them or like replace them. So I think that is not a easy task, and then it takes time because it takes time for your product manager to getting better, and it takes time for you as a manager or the business owner to getting experience to tell people at an early stage and whether it's worth your time to put the resource on them or not. But if you want to grow, you have to do it, but it takes time.
Great answer.
I want to add to that a little bit. If you're a solopreneur, you still need to draw out your org chart, meaning that you need to understand what are all the different tasks or seats or jobs and roles that you have in your business, even if you're the only one doing every single one of them. So this is the methodology that Jennifer and I teach within Seller Systems Academy. It's basically every single seat might have your name. You're wearing each of those hats, and you have KPIs in every single seat. So the answer to which role should you replace first is really dependent on what you're great at, because you're measuring your own ability and what you enjoy doing. Now, sometimes what you enjoy doing, you're not good at. So you should still probably step aside or get better at it. But if you truly are measuring what you're good at in every single seat and you're being honest with yourself, then you might quickly determine what roles you need to hire first. And so to Jennifer's point, though, to start to scale to 8 figures, you really need to step away from most of those seats. And the most crucial role is going to be the person that is touching your ads and managing your products on a daily basis. And you're going to need multiple of those people as you get to 10, 20, 30, 50 SKUs.
Great answer. So how do Amazon sellers increase their reviews on their products?
You just need to get more sales. We're not doing like an outreach and for some people to leave reviews because it may be a thing like 3-4 years ago, and now like on Amazon just make it very easy for people who can just leave a star without review, and then they have a Vine customer program, and you can just enroll in it and for the product launch phase, and then most of the people gonna post the product images and as well. So we're not like doing extra things to get in reviews. Yeah, that is my simple answer.
When we first started selling on Amazon, people used to cheat the reviews. It was very common. And I think that there's still that reputation that Amazon has from shoppers' perspective that they don't trust the reviews in a lot of ways because of that. Now, Jennifer and I have always played the long game. As she said earlier, we want to build our wealth slowly and we want to be safe. And Amazon provides you many different ways to get reviews, and you have to work within those rules. So they have the Vine program, which allows you to give away products to influencers, and those influencers will leave honest reviews. Now, a lot of them can be very harsh critics because they don't want to get kicked out of the Vine program. And my understanding is if they leave too many 5-star reviews, they might get kicked out. So sometimes they'll be like, best product I've ever had. My child loves it. I played with it for hours. Durability is pretty good. 4 stars. And they don't understand that 4 stars is actually bad, right? Like it's not great, right? And so sometimes you got to be very careful. The quality of your product really matters for the Vine program. We also will, in order to get reviews, we will make sure that our insert cards are very clear asking for a review, but there's a lot of rules around that too. This is part of that learning curve for newbies, that if you do the wrong thing, you'll get banned. And if you listen to the wrong person or you watch a video from 5 years ago when people were doing search, find, buys, rebates, like incentivizing reviews, you will get your account taken away.
Mm.
And so it's very important that you know what the current rules are, how Amazon is currently treating the ability to get reviews or what you can do to get reviews within the terms of service in order to make sure you don't put your account at risk. We have a very good friend of ours who actually has been in the space just as long as us, who just had an 8-figure brand, a brand doing over $10 million, get taken away because he was manipulating reviews.
Oh,
So he lost the ability to sell this brand for millions of dollars, get wiped out. Now he has other brands, he has other businesses, other ventures, and it hurt and it's a painful thing, but he was still using the tactics from years ago and he was pushing the envelope. Now, people will overstep. They'll cross into the black hat, they'll cross into the gray hat. They will do things that they know are kind of against the rules or leaning against it in order to do that. But it really depends on your risk tolerance. And we don't ever teach to break those rules because we want our students also to play by the rules and to have a long-term business, because it can be devastating to lose your account and to lose your business that you've built up and you've invested so much money into. And the reality is you can do it the right way and still be very successful on Amazon.
great answer. What are those rules, Jennifer? I know you know the rules.
I think to be simple, just align with Amazon wants, because you're selling your product on that platform, and they have their criteria about how they expect the merchants to behave, and they want offer a good product to their consumers, and make it easy for the consumer to buy and check it out. And right now they want like the increasing their advertisements revenues for them. So which means like you should spend advertising monies on online. You cannot just expect your products sitting there and then it will sell automatically, right? And then I think recently they are really pushing their supply chain service, right? Just using AWD and using their logistic services. So I think just always keep an eye on about what they want, and then view Amazon as your partner. Um, and then and then you will getting rewarded, and then eventually.
Mm. So when you say do what Amazon wants you to do,
Mm-hmm.
in simple terms, can you give us an example or what are the specifics that Amazon wants a seller to stay in alignment with? What are those specific rules?
So I'll give you an example about the things we realized recently is about advertisement, right? Because before we are very specific about, okay, this product is related to a certain keyword, and then we're just using manual advertisement for exact match, and we go heavy for that keyword. And now we realize that the exact match campaign performance is not the greatest as before. So sometimes auto performs better, or like some general targeting type of campaign and performs better, or even like you using exact match methodology, and then Amazon give you some search term is not 100% match. They using some semantic matching algorithm to targeting other keyword as well. So that is a sign about, and they don't want you to be very specific to targeting a certain keyword or product or audience, and they want you to go wide. So just like in the turn on some widely targeted campaign, and using AMC, right? And then this is another program that they push like very hard. Um, and then we see a better performance for those like auto campaigns or widely targeted campaigns, and they have a lower A cost or higher ROAS as the exact match campaign as we experienced before. So I think that is a good example to show that if Amazon like want you to do something, and then they will like reward it that, and then punish you if you're not doing it.
Very good answer. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
So Amazon is very clear in what their goals are. And I think as a seller, you need to understand their goals so that
What are they?
their goals are to make as much money as possible and to keep people on their platform. Now, what's interesting is Amazon has recently expanded their logistics footprint. Their goal is to become the logistics supplier for every platform.
Hmm.
So this is a brand new thing for them. Previously, they did not want to fulfill to Walmart when you had Walmart orders. Walmart didn't want you fulfilling Amazon orders to Walmart. And now you've got the rise of TikTok, you've got D2C. Amazon allows you now to plug in the Prime badge in places like TikTok and on your Shopify store.
Hmm.
So those integrations, those partnerships that they're creating are telling us that they are okay now to be the central location for you to fulfill. And they want that. So they've established and put a lot of fees in place for sellers if you don't send your inventory in the correct way or use their logistics companies,
Mm-hmm.
that it ends up costing you more money. Now, does that mean that you have to use Amazon for 100% of your logistics? No, you have to understand where you're also going to sell, because if
Mm-hmm.
you're selling very competitive products, like we're talking about the consumables, the replenishables, a lot of times you want to have an omni-channel approach because that outside traffic is going to help you rank. So you could take a percentage of your ad spend that you would normally spend on Amazon, you can allocate that to a budget for TikTok, for example.
Interesting.
And then that TikTok traffic and the TikTok sales will actually help you rank on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And so that balance is something that we're trying to learn and explore so that we can teach it ourselves.
Yeah.
And so Jennifer is going down that path now, where we are studying these other channels and starting to implement and take our tens of millions in revenue and our millions of dollars in ad spend budget and start to play in other areas so that we can see what the impact is.
Amazing. Last question. What is your best piece of advice for Amazon sellers in 2026?
My advice for Amazon sellers for 2026 is thinking about the omni-channel, which means they have to thinking about bring sales and traffic from other channels besides Amazon to get Amazon sales.
Great answer. Brandon, what is the best piece of advice for Amazon sellers heading into 2026?
The best advice for Amazon sellers in 2026, as Jennifer said, is to think omni-channel, even with your product development. So when you're first developing a product, you need to think about how this can potentially work on TikTok. How can this potentially work on your own website? Because that outside traffic is going to help you to become successful on Amazon. And the other advice is the same as it's always been, to keep launching products. Like, I think a lot of people get comfortable with one product, but products have a life cycle. The time to disruption because of Amazon or because of AI specifically is very short. You launch a product and it's very successful. Believe me, a lot of people are out there trying to disrupt you because we're doing the same thing and we're teaching a lot of sellers to do the same thing. So we are looking at the best sellers and we're asking AI to help us to make a better product. People are going to do that with your product. So 2 steps to counter that. First is be launching more products, always be developing, always be launching, right? The second is disrupt yourself. If you have a product that's already selling on Amazon, you need to be looking at AI and thinking about how someone's going to disrupt you and beat them to it.
Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me at the Viral Breakdown podcast. If someone wants to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
Just follow me in my social media, Real Jennifer Young.
Awesome. Brandon, where can we find you?
If you want to find me, you can find me on basically every social media platform by searching Brandon Young Amazon. You can also join our Discord. We have ourselves and coaches in there and a free community for you to get any help or advice you need.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
For Young.
Awesome. Brandon, where can we find you?
If you want to find me, you can find me on basically every social media platform by searching Brandon Young Amazon. You can also join our Discord. We have ourselves and coaches in there and a free community for you to get any help or advice you need.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.